So before I get into the gameplay, there is one more video that we're going to look at, and this will be the last one before we go and do some actual gameplay here. So this video right here popped up in my screen, popped up in my feed earlier today. Good morning, yo, VX, good morning, man, how are you doing today? What up, what up? See, going over here, this is a video by a smaller content creator that happened to pop in my feed, and I watched like 1 minute of it to see that it's okay. And to be fair, it's looking okay, so let's check it out together and see what we think so far. It's gotten a lot of comments, for sure. A lot of comments, a lot of likes. Could be a good video, and the title is How I Never Get Bored of Classic WoW. We just came from a video talking about burnout, so maybe this one will be relevant.
Hey, how's it going? Why don't you come join me on a walk through Durotar? I thought I'd make this video because I've been thinking a lot about Classic.
There was a slight voice crack there, huh? Was I the only one who heard that one?
World of Warcraft. Every day I feel like there's new drama videos coming out, a new reason to hate Blizzard.
At everyone's Solheim is dragging out time because he is being boosted right now. Dude, I'm on my level 1. Where would I be boosted right now, man? I'm jumping on the Stormwind fountain while I'm just waiting. Man, dude.
A new reason to not want to play your favorite game. So, here I am, walking through Durotar. I want to give you my perspective on things, and how World of Warcraft Classic never becomes boring for me. I can keep playing it and keep playing it. I never seem to get sick of it. And this is my thought process behind that. I find with Classic World of Warcraft, everyone wants to min-max the game. They want to get the best in slot. They want to play the most optimally. They want to get the raids done in 30 minutes. I kind of take an opposite approach to that. I'm a very casual gamer when it comes to Classic World of Warcraft.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I love doing raids. Love topping charts. Love doing lots of damage. Love seeing my numbers go up.
I'm just gonna say, by the way, playing Classic WoW in a casual way is possibly the best thing you can do, by the way. I feel like everybody rushing the game right now and just trying to complete the game as fast as they can. You're only doing yourself a disservice, and yes, I'm saying this as a content creator playing the game a lot, and when a new server comes out, I am among the first level 60s. Still, listen to what I say, don't do as I do. Let me ruin my own experience by rushing to level 60, playing the game a lot, and making videos for you guys. Meanwhile, take your time, enjoy the game, and just take in what it has to offer. Playing the game in a casual way is arguably the most fun you can have, I think.
But that's not what's number one for me. And I think that kind of idea is what solidifies why I love World of Warcraft. Because I can play it multiple different ways. I don't have to worry about being the absolute best, or collecting the absolute #1 gear, or topping the charts being the #1 player. You don't have to be the best. You can play the game casually and enjoy it. I think, as players, we ruin a lot of the magic and a lot of the game for ourselves because we're always trying to chase this top position. We're looking up guides, we're downloading add-ons, we're seeing the most optimal way to do something. We're kind of ruining the game for ourselves in doing so.
Yeah.
I find, for me at least,
players given the opportunity will optimize the fun out of gaming. In order to be more efficient, they will have less fun because all they care about is being efficient. They want to obtain the goals that they are like their goals to obtain as fast as they can obtain them, and being efficient while doing so. People nowadays value efficiency over fun, and they will optimize the fun out of their gameplay.
Take a step back, delete my add-ons, do a playthrough just as the game was made, how Blizzard originally intended me to play the game. I treat it like a fantasy adventure, kind of like old school MMOs were meant to be. You're not supposed to necessarily play it like this super figured out game, you know, like I need this piece of gear and this piece of gear and this piece of gear.
I think this is why, by the way, people really want Classic Plus right now, because in order to get this experience in Classic, you have to handicap yourself. And for somebody like me, who has leveled up at least 20 characters to level 60, I would have to find a way to take information out of my brain, because for me, the speed leveling route and just leveling fast and which quests to do and where to do them, it's hard-coded into my brain. So for me to play the game in a way where the mystery is there, it's simply not possible in Classic. I need something like Classic Plus that can shake up the meta, introduce new quests, new zones, new gear, and even new dungeons to farm at max level for new pre-raid best in slot items. I need new things, because I have found out pretty much everything I need to find out at this point. I've played Classic WoW way more than anyone should, and yeah, like, for me to experience what he's experiencing now, so even if I delete my add-ons, I don't need Questy, because I know where to go. I technically don't need rested XP, because I know the route almost by heart now, for the most part. So I don't need those add-ons. But for anybody else who's leveling their first, second, or third character, you can delete those add-ons and have a pretty magical experience. I can't. So we need Classic Plus to introduce new things to the game that we don't know yet, because the problem with Classic is it's a very figured out game. We need something new to figure out.
I say throw it out the door. If I want to wear full tier 1 because I think it looks cool, sure. I'm sure there's a better combination of things that I could wear that I would do much better performing, and I would do higher damage, but I like how tier 2 looks, or tier 1 looks. I do just a good enough damage. I'm not below average. I'm not underperforming. I'm not holding anyone back. I find groups of people who have a similar mindset to me, who just want to take it easy, take it chill. If the raid takes a little longer, that's fine. We're not ruining the experience for anybody because they are doing a suboptimal job. I think playing the game suboptimally is actually a good way to get more enjoyment out of the game, as silly as that sounds. Now, you don't want to be a player like that playing with players who do want to do those 30-minute raids, who do want to top the charts, who do want to clear the content as fast as possible. There's definitely an audience for that. If you want to play like that, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think at the end of the day...
Yeah, I was gonna say VX, I think he's, like, in the game behind him, he's walking backwards. He has to be, right? He's walking backwards. But also, how is he doing this right now in real life? Is he standing still pretending to walk? Or is he walking on it like treadmill or walking pad? Because he is doing the movements in real life as if he's walking, it looks like. It has to be a walking pad, yeah?
That's how burnout sets in. You're trying to chase these super optimal levels, the super speed gameplay, and you're ruining the magic for yourself. Treat the world like the world it is. This fantasy adventure that you're venturing off into. Not this game that you need to solve and figure out. Try some light RP. You know, maybe at the end of every session you find an inn and you do a sleep in a bed, and that's how you log out. Little things like that will help reintroduce the magic in the World of Warcraft for you. And these are things that really help me kind of get back into experiencing the game for what it was intended to be like. And I think that's really important when it comes to MMORPGs, especially old school MMORPGs like Classic WoW. You want to treat it like it's like a Dungeons and Dragons type adventure. Now, this message might not resonate with a lot of people, but I think there is a group of people that this will resonate with. If you're sick of how you're playing, you don't want to play the game anymore because, you know, the player experience has been ruined, whether it's how players play, how add-ons are telling you how to play the game. At the end of the day, it's a game. It's a fantasy experience. I, for one, don't like a lot of add-ons in my experience. I think that takes away from what the game's intentions were. And at the end of the day, once you install so many add-ons, you're kind of letting the game play for you. And really, what's the fun in that if you're being told what button to press, when to move? You're really being taken out of the experience. You're taking it out of the immersion. Now, I know there's a lot of add-ons that are essential to people. I know a lot of people love Questy, DBM, and there's a lot of good stuff that comes from that. A lot of good gameplay. But at the end of the day, I think there is a trade-off, and that trade-off is immersion, and it's having fun. And now I think that's kind of going to rub people the wrong way, because it's like, oh, you're not using DBM, you're not using Questy, what do you mean, you're a bad player? And if that's the case, that's their opinion, so be it. But for me at least, I think something like Questy, while it is helpful, it can tarnish the experience a bit. When was the last time you really read a quest? Instead of just, oh, I need to go here. I need to collect X. I need to collect Y. I need to do the thing. It's pretty rare for a lot of players to experience the game that way. The way it was intended. And I think if anything you can take away from this is try to get back into playing the game the way it was intended. The gaming landscape has changed so much over time. There's guides, there's optimal routes to do things, do this quest, and then go over here and do this quest because it'll level you up the most optimal, fastest way. I think that really takes away from the game, and it takes away from the adventure, and at the end of the day, it slowly degrades the player experience, and you end up not enjoying.
The perfect example of this, by the way, in my opinion, is pretty much every single leveling guide, including both Joanna's and Rested XP. Well, I have never tried Joanna's, but based on what I'm hearing, it's included there as well. They tell you to grind from 44 to 48 in the same location due to the health and defense values of those mobs, because that is the quote-unquote optimal way to level those 4 levels. So instead of going out and doing some sulfuric runs, or gearing yourself up, or leveling in a different way, or just planning the questing route differently, they tell you to grind mindlessly for 4 levels. I don't know. To me, that is not peak gameplay.
Your favorite game, which is kind of sad in my opinion. So I challenge the viewer today to do a run of World of Warcraft Classic. No add-ons, read the quests, don't care about how fast you level up. You've already hit 60.
The problem for me is like, this right here is a good sentiment, and it's a good thing to challenge people to do, but if I do this, if I don't use any questing add-ons, it's barely gonna slow me down at all, because I already have the knowledge, and I don't need to read the quest text, because I already know where to go anyway. I need to play Classic Plus, where they have changed stuff, because the game we have I've played so much that I just, unless you physically take the knowledge out of my head, I know where things are.
So many times, you've gotten your best in slot, you've done all the raids, you've experienced the game that way, but you haven't experienced the game the way it was intended. So, leaving this video, I'd say, play the game differently. Go into it with a different mindset. Try to be more casual. And honestly, play other games. Take a break if you find that this isn't the experience you want. Because there's nothing healthier than trying new things. One of the WoW tooltips in the load screen is literally take everything in moderation. Even World of Warcraft. And to this day, that's the one tooltip that I remember all the time. And it helps me have a more enjoyable experience. I don't like to use add-ons anymore. I like to go in here and pretend that I am one of these fantasy races in a fantasy world, experiencing things, doing kind of like a roleplay element, where I picture myself as my character. And I found I've gotten a lot of enjoyment that way. Playing suboptimally, while seen silly, and it might tarnish a speedrunning group mentality, it's actually improved my mental state and how I feel about the game, and I've always gotten a lot of replayability out of the game that way. I'll level up, go through the journey, I'll get to level 60, and then I'll start over again. And then I'll do a new class, and I'll play it differently every time. If I'm not following a guide, I don't feel locked to the same type of level up experience. And the world feels like more of an adventure that way. And I feel like that's really special. And so, I guess, ending the video here, I'd just like to say, World of Warcraft burnout is a real thing. And you can ruin the game for yourself. And I feel like players really have ruined the game for themselves by playing this type of way. So, next time you play World of Warcraft, go into it with a new mentality. Be a little more casual about it. Take away those add-ons. Read a few quests. Go to sleep in an inn when you log out. Really get into your character. Pretend you are your character. And yeah, I appreciate you coming for this walk. Duratar is looking beautiful today. And happy questing. Hopefully you can go into the World of Warcraft with a new outlook after listening to this video. Thanks for popping by. I appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one.
Alright, good video. I really enjoyed that, by the way. That was a good walk and talk type of video. Not sure if inspired by Hammer Dance, but I do like the walk and talk videos anyway. And that was kind of good, yeah. Very good ideas to bring. And just leveling up in a different way. To me, sadly, it's not going to work, because once again, I already have the knowledge of the stuff. And I've already tried to level without add-ons. It makes borderline no difference to me personally, because once again, I know everything. So it's the same leveling route. I would have to, like, once again, handicap myself to play differently, and that is a feels bad man moment. If I have to make myself play worse to try to enjoy the game better, I'm just going to enjoy it less, because now, once again, I'm enforcing myself to play worse, to enjoy it more. I just want to have Classic Plus, man, to be able to enjoy the game and figure things out over again. Because right now I think it's a too figured out game, and that's the problem. Or not the problem, but one of many problems. Either way, once again, good video, and I'll leave a link to you guys in case you somehow ended up here at some point throughout the video, and you want to check out the entire thing.